The Power of Four is the first book in the Legacy of the Goddess series. It is a tale of fantasy, magic, and adventure, set in ancient Egypt in the mythical village of Neten on the banks of the great sacred river. Chapter 9 New Moon Night. Though Ezra's childhood had been happy, he missed the presence of a father. He felt his father would have spoilt him and loved him dearly. Sometimes he would daydream about him. He would dream that his father was there with them, that his mother looked happy, and their whole house radiated light. He was not sure whether his dream would ever come true. He felt that his mother missed him, though she never showed it or spoke about it. However, there was not much time to daydream. There were chores to be done, studies to attend to, the work at the bakery, and his uncle's spice shop took away most of his time. Today Ezra noticed the house had a vibrant energy. His mother had told him that his father would be visiting them. His father finally coming back to his family. He had waited for this day to come. He had so much to tell his father. His mother was preparing sweets of all shapes and sizes. His uncle was overseeing all the preparations for the new moon ritual which was coinciding with his father's visit. The air was one of celebration and joy. Ezra had called a friend over for the ceremony. He had told his friend that he would be meeting his father for the first time. There were many people in the house, and everyone wanted to meet his father. As it was the new moon night too, there was work to be done. He had decided to miss his lesson with the guardian that night. There was a ritual that would be held later in the evening. Students of AERØHEAD were busy with the arrangements. Just then, there was a knock on the door. There was a hushed conversation, and soon a crowd of people gathered at their house, mostly their relatives and friends, whom Ezra saw occasionally during ceremonies and family events. Ezra paid no attention. Someone important must have come for the ritual. It often happened. An old man with a long staff was seen talking to his mother. He saw Ezra and smiled. "Do you remember me?" he asked. Ezra did not. He was busy trying to beat his friend from school in a board game. They loved to play the game. He saw the old man talking to his mother and then leaving quickly. "Ezra," said his uncle, "son, your father will not be coming tonight." Ezra's heart went cold. He turned to his mother. She looked calm. She took Ezra aside and said, "Ezra, you are a big boy now. You have to learn to face disappointments in life. Your father is missing. We can't find him anywhere. Everyone is searching. We just can't find him. People tell us that he was seen walking towards our house. He met a man. There was a heated argument, and then they both walked away together." The new moon ritual that night was solemn. Many prayed to the goddess for his father's well-being. Ezra kept looking at his mother. Her face was composed. She looked hopeful. The ritual was over, and the guests left. His mother looked serious and started heading towards the altar room with his uncle and aunt. Ezra followed them silently. He heard his mother saying, "It's time we have to go and find him." "But Ezra," whispered his uncle. "Well, we just have to tell him. He has to know one of these days. He has started learning." His aunt Rai, who rarely spoke, said, "There is nothing you can do. If Ezra is willing, you should allow it." "Allow what?" said Ezra. "To go in search of your father," said his aunt Rai. "Well, I will not allow it," said his horrified uncle. "It is too dangerous. I have already lost a brother." "I am going. Allow me, mother," said Ezra. "You can take a small bag, just a few belongings, some food you can eat on the way, and some of your implements," said his mother grimly. She was tired of waiting. She wanted to go with Ezra too, but realized that Ezra has to do this alone. It was his rite of passage to adulthood. "What are you saying?" The three of them looked in amazement at Arya. "Well, he wants to search for his father. I can't stop him," said Arya. Hearing this, Ezra was happy and terrified at the same time. It was his mother who had told him that he had to learn how to defeat forces that fight him, how he has to have a plan or a strategy in mind so that he can find his father and stay alive. He had to be equipped for the battle, and what he knew was not enough to search for his father. He had to know where to go, whom to ask for help, learn to fight, as well as to make peace if necessary. A few days passed by. Ezra got impatient. "But on the new moon night you said I could go," protested Ezra. "Yes, I did," said his mother patiently. "But not all battles are fought with swords and spears. Some are fought by strategy and planning. You have to be ready for anything, so that if and when you go for the search of your father, you come back victorious," she said with a smile. "She does make sense," thought Ezra. He had no idea where to start or whom to ask for help if he ran into trouble. He did not know the ways of the world. He had to be careful not to lose his father again this time, maybe forever. Together his whole family sat and planned for the search that lay ahead. "You would need the help of an oracle," said his mother. "I don't know any oracles," said Ezra. "We will find someone," said his mother. "We need a seer as well." "Who is a seer?" asked Ezra. "One who can see through the mist," said his uncle. "Now is there anyone who can go along with Ezra?" asked his uncle. They could not think of anyone whom they could trust. Ezra felt his whole world closing in. He wondered whether his family really knew how to find his father, or whether they were just deceiving themselves. "We will teach you to see beyond the veil," said his Aunt Rai. "You will be your own seer." His family told him that he had to start his training right away. There was no time to lose. By the next new moon he should be on his way. The next morning at dawn, Arya took him to a secluded place, a small clearing behind the house. Ezra put the wheel of protection around him as he was taught, but he was not prepared for the kind of protection his mother was about to teach him. She asked him to breathe deeply and keep his mind clear. Ezra steadied his breath and took in the fresh air. Slowly he relaxed and let go of his anxiety, his fears, and his worries. "Visualize a wall around you," said Arya. Ezra slowed his breathing and in his mind's eye started to see a small wall rising around him. He raised a wall of pure white light. He felt his mother approving it, but he could no longer feel her presence. He was completely surrounded by the wall. He could hear his mother telling him to bring it down. He did so slowly. "Now build a pyramid on top of you. It should cover you completely." The visualization practice continued day after day. Ezra got better and better at it, till his mother could no longer break the protective shield around him. She told him to use the shield only in times of danger. Otherwise, people would not be able to reach him. He would be invisible to them. Thank you for listening. This was a chapter from The Legacy of the Goddess, Power of Four. Tune in every Friday for a new chapter. You can also buy the whole book right now. Visit legacyofthegoddess.gumroad.com to buy The Power of Four in both written and audio format, as well as a special discounted bundle.